I remember the time when people didn't talk about risk as if it was about creation and protection of value, like ISO 31000 does now, but where it was really all about something that was a bit nasty and you needed to avoid it rather than embrace it to create value. And I got quite frustrated about this and said, why is no one writing about people aspects of risk management in business? Risk psychologists were, behavioural economics people were, but in business, why is no one talking about this? So in the mid-2000s, 2005, 6, I started getting interested in this, wrote some books, stumbled across Risk Type Compass, and I've been using it. And I've been using it ever since.
As Jeff mentioned, I trained in the Risk Type Compass early days in the summer of 2014, and I've been using it for the last 5 years in various projects for individual selection, career development, team development. We've actually done some training using the Risk Type Compass to raise risk awareness in organisations.
We started to use the risk type in recruitment in the team, not as a selection requirement, but more about adding more rich information to who was coming through the door and who we were selecting and how they fitted with the team. And as Christine said, we ran some team development exercises which then allowed us to share those risk types within a fairly safe environment. And that helped people understand that I wasn't crazy, I was just carefree.
So understanding where you sit helps you to communicate with people who sit in a different place in the Risk Type Compass. It's also a facilitator of organisational change.
Doing things like you've always done them is not really going to give you the answer that you want. So it means doing something a bit different, and therefore you need to take some risks and make some informed decisions in the light of the uncertainty that inevitably is present.
So this is something else that the Risk Type Compass can do. It can create a landscape. So you can take an individual, you can take a team, you can take a department, and then you can look at a whole organisation using the Risk Type Compass. So within the board and the EMT, you have a lot more risk taking. Within Jim's team, you can see the risk enterprise people and the information governance people, as you might hope and expect, are the much more risk averse individuals.
We have a type, we have a personality. Of course, we're able to flex our behaviour. A highly valued attribute of senior leaders is behavioural flexibility. And when things are going well or we're in flow, then most of us are probably quite good at flexing from our ties.
I have used it in recruitment for several clients, including national sales jobs. And in the national sales jobs, most of the successful applicants came through in the carefree category, again as you might expect, because these people are flexible, they're spontaneous, ambitious, opportunistic, so very suited to sales jobs.
And ultimately, as a risk practitioner, it's clear that understanding psychology of risk and rethinking risk at the macro level, the meso level, the micro level of the individual is absolutely need to know, and the Risk Type Compass is at least helping us do that now. And is a great conversation piece to enable the conversation from senior level all the way down to the lowest levels of the team.
And I think for me, as a practitioner, it's helped me rethink risk as well as a component of personality. As Jeff was saying, it's definitely a feature of personality. It's not some subset or correlate. It's definitely, something that makes people tick as individuals.
I also think that using the Risk Type Compass can help us select for other safety critical roles. We've been very focused on the air traffic controllers, but we have a number of other roles that actually require safety consciousness as well. We have the technicians, the engineers, the flight data specialists, the assistants, air traffic controllers, and we're having the discussion moving forward whether this is something that we want to bring either into their selection or into their training.
So in terms of the organisation, I think it does help organisations understand that they are working with a range of different types. They are not all like them at senior management level.
Over the years that I've spent helping clients take, eyes open risks and lead effective change, I've not come across a better, more usable psychometric test that helps with that. I believe that if we can appreciate one another, we've got a better chance of acting effectively, and Risk Type Compass can help us do that.
One of the clear benefits for me has been this nuanced version of the Risk Type Compass that's come through with the inclusion of the subscales, and I found that extremely useful in feedback in helping people understand where they sit in the overall picture and what some of the individual components are that make them who they are. So as Jeff was saying, it's not a type instrument, it's a continuum, and I think you get a lot more of that through that nuanced page.
The role of an air traffic controller is to provide safe, orderly and expeditious flow of air traffic. What the Risk Type Compass showed us was that we over-focused. We over-focused on safe and orderly, but we hadn't been looking enough at expedition.
It's not that there's anything that's perfect about any one risk type. There are definitely pros and cons. And in terms of personal development, I've had some really interesting feedback, and 2 or 3 individuals have said to me that it's the most interesting and pertinent individual feedback that they've ever had.
I can tell you that my experience with the Risk Type Compass has been exemplary, and I look forward to working with PCL in the coming years.